The competitiveness versus spirituality of success, part 2. The content for this podcast comes from my book, Advanced Success Secrets. You get a free copy of each of my 8 best-selling books at alexhammerbooks.com. That's AlexHammerbooks.com. Okay, so part 2 obviously picks up where part 1 left off. We are counting on a person for so much. And now that has been ripped away. Holy smokes. I'm going to contradict myself a little bit here by stating that we can also rise above this to a substantial, if not total degree, by an evolution of consciousness. On a physical, psychological, and often emotional level, life is, or can be, highly, highly, highly competitive, as detailed. But on a spiritual level, the higher has power over the lower. The child is afraid that there are monsters under the bed because the child has less objective skill to survive in the world of the adult, and the child manifests this anxiety in different ways, including monsters. The classic notion of identification is another way, and why, except in extremely bad circumstances, when push comes to shove at a minimum, children will generally listen to their parents and teachers and allow themselves to be socialized, rather than running away from home at a young age and setting up a base camp of their own. Let's talk a little bit about this spiritual perspective and what it means in general and in regard to competition. Here we go. It's in the Bible, I believe, where it talks about God looking after every blade of grass. And it's true. Look at this world. Everybody in this life has their portion. Some portions may be greater than others, but people have their individual portions for food, for shelter, for relationships, for career, etc. Everyone has a space in the world. This is not by accident. Our anxiety over competition actually makes us more vulnerable due to the law of attraction and our emotions being the discerning guide. When we feel that the universe has a place for us, for each of us, carved out for us, that is very reassuring. Freud stated something such as, quote, "Religion is the opiate of the masses," end of quote. And sometimes, perhaps often, religion can be used in that way. But there are spiritual laws just as there are physical laws. Most of us have no desire to kill other people, not intrinsically because we want to avoid jail or the death penalty, although certainly we would, but rather something inside of us just knows that this is not who we are. It is not what we're about. It is anathema to our basic being. Now, of course, in wartime, etc., this can be overridden to a degree. I am not a total pacifist, although I do not generally believe in war. Why do you think so many soldiers who have seen mortal combat, despite their military training, come home with flashbacks, nightmares, or PTSD? Because spiritually, we are programmed to act in certain ways and witness certain things and not others. And when we go outside of this, there are repercussions. Spiritual repercussions and repercussions in other areas. Now, some people are more spiritually involved than others. And as a result, what some people might find suitable from a spiritual perspective might be different than others. So, there is individual variation. When you see yourself as a body, you have physical power. When you see yourself as a mind, then you have mental power. Emotions have great power as well. But when you see yourself as a spirit, then you have additional powers. Love is an additional power of the spirit, as is joy, as is forgiveness, and many others. Was it Jesus who said that man, and women as well, of course, does not live by bread alone? When it says that faith can move mountains, I do not know if it is talking about mountains literally or not, but I do know that faith can be transformative. Do you know how many people have gotten through incredible tragedies and disappointments because of their faith? I am not here to tell you that there is a God. That is outside the scope of this book. I am here to tell you that those who are successful draw on powers greater than their own. This, if you want to be successful, is one of the greatest success secrets you could ever know.